Welcome. In front of me I have the POLAR Vantage M3 watch, and I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the device itself. So anyway, let's just pop it open. Now, before I get to talk about this device, I am going to quickly mention the price of it, and the device itself comes at about $400 price tag. That would already be including tax. So for that we will get some paperwork, the watch itself, exchangeable little band right here, so shorter one if you have smaller wrists, and the charging cable. And now the end is type C to a proprietary charging plug. Now let's get rid of this little cardboard. There we go. Let's peel that off. Now I'm not exactly sure which one is the power button. Oh. Is it turning on? There we go. Now the screen itself is vibrant, bright, so that's pretty nice. In terms of refresh rate, it doesn't seem as smooth as, for instance, something like a more traditional watches are. So this is much smoother, for instance, on the Galaxy Watch 7. The scrolling through even like the letters, or not letters, languages, seems a little bit slower. It's below 60 frames, that's for certain. So the reason I'm pointing that out is because I actually paid less for this watch than this one costs. So this is, like I said, $400 about, give or take a little bit, while I paid for mine secondhand, basically almost brand new, Galaxy Watch 7, and that costed me about $100. So for that I do feel like I have a little bit more feature-rich device probably than this one. Now, feature-rich might not always be the best case for a watch, and I know that, so let's talk about other things about this. So we have an AMOLED display with a 1.28 inch display with a resolution of 1460 by 1460. Resolution right here is pretty good for a watch, and the fact that it has an AMOLED display will mean that we have very vibrant colors and infinite contrast ratios with the black things right here because of the display type. Now the mass of this device is about 53 grams, and without the straps itself is about 35. Now it doesn't mention if it's including these straps or the shorter one, because obviously this one will be a little bit lighter than this. And that being said, I can kind of give you a comparison in the size, so, or in terms of length, of how it differs. So here we go. This is how much shorter is the additional strap. So it does change the length of it quite significantly. Now, let's see. In terms of processing power right here on the Polar website, it doesn't really say much. So it does say processor speed is 275 megahertz. We have 37 megabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of storage built into the watch. Materials, we're looking at plastic, Gorilla Glass right here, and stainless steel as the frame, which I assume this is the only stainless steel that we are looking at. So this right here, because this is clearly plasticky. Now, in terms of sensors right here, we have GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, so those are for localizations. Also, a bunch of ones that I don't even have ever heard of, so you can check them out on their website. So it seems like in terms of localization it's pretty good. Connectivity, Bluetooth 5.1. It seems a little bit lower. I think right now we have Bluetooth 5.3. So this is 5.1, a little bit behind. Higher one would be better, as connecting or keeping the connection with your phone will consume less battery, and obviously will improve on the connection itself. So it's just higher in terms of Bluetooth would be better. Let's see what else. We have operating ranges of the watch. We have -20 Celsius to +50 Celsius. Damn, that can like operate in pretty hot temperatures. We have EKG Gen 1 sensor, blood oxygenation Gen 1, elixir, whatever that is, temperature or skin temperature Gen 1, optical heart rate sensor Gen 4. Now I am translating this from Polish as I go. For some reason it's in Polish right now. Now moving on into the internals, we have a 310 mAh battery, lithium polymer, or lithium, not polymer, I think. Oh yeah, it is lithium polymer. Okay, so I was correct. We have a couple modes that you can run this watch at. So performance mode will get you about 30 hours of usage. Now performance, I presume, means that all the sensors are enabled, always on display, and all that stuff is enabled, while eco mode will get you 70 hours, and smart mode gets you 7 days. Wow, that is a massive difference between eco and smart. Or sorry, not smart mode, it's smartwatch. So I presume this is just going to tell you the time, actually. So with that actually being said, these, for something that is running proprietary software, it is getting pretty abysmal battery life. So I understand that it has a bunch of like things like GPS tracking and all that stuff. So you can basically go running and track all your exercises pretty well. But still, if you compare it to other devices that are running proprietary software, these get like a month of battery life. They might not be doing the tracking as well, but if you're getting such a battery life, you might as well go for an actual smartwatch that runs Android OS, which gives you much more versatility than this one. This, as far as I can tell, is running its own software, so it won't be as versatile. And let's see if I can actually find the info about the OS. Yeah, I can't really tell what the actual OS on here is, and it's not listed in technical specifications. So anyway, like I said, it's a pretty expensive watch. Now these are designed for tracking, so they're gonna try to do this as best as they can, but it is a pretty expensive. If you don't want to spend as much money and don't care to have as accurate data tracking as this will most likely provide, like I'm saying most likely because I have never tested this out myself, then you want to look at some other devices, maybe like the one that I have, which is the Samsung Galaxy Watch 7, and get more feature-rich device for much less. And if you're looking for something that has definitely better battery life, and again, you don't care that much about having like very pinpoint accuracy, then maybe check out something like the Xiaomi Smart Bands. These last up to like a month almost. And they also have the Pro version, which is more of a traditional kind of watch, or more boxy design, but still, compared to the Smart Band, which is more like a band, will have more of a watch kind of feel to it, and just bigger display, and still fantastic device as well. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.